Yo, what's up, guys?
Hello, everybody.
My name's John Kage.
I am Mitchel Dumlao, aka Doomz.
And welcome to our first entrepreneurship podcast.
What is it called?
Called The Hustle Times.
Woo!
Really excited about this.
Why did we call it The Hustle Times?
We called it The Hustle Times because we kind of got it from the LA Times, remember? The New York Times. Like the New York Times, LA Times.
It's kind of like a
Hustle Times.
A newspaper, a magazine of sorts, chronicling the hustling that we do.
Yes.
And other hustlers as well. The whole idea of the show was to actually bring on other guests and entrepreneurs and people that we vibe with, artists, musicians, badass motherfuckers.
Yes.
That we respect.
And if you are offended by the word fuck or shit or boobs, then you should probably not watch this podcast.
Yeah.
Because
that's going to be said a lot.
We kind of get very, we like to get a little edgy at times.
Edgy and
just real, dude.
Yeah.
We're just being real, you know?
Like quadruple X.
Exactly. Okay, so let's kind of talk about how we came up with the idea for this. Because me and Mitchell, we go to Taco Tuesdays every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we were at this awesome taco joint down the street. Mm-hmm. And basically we started talking about just our parents. Remember?
Yeah. So I'm Filipino, over here is Korean. And we talked about how, our parents still don't understand what we do for our jobs and making money. And even though we pay rent and never, ask them for any money, show them, how successful we are.
Yeah.
They still don't understand the idea of being an entrepreneur and making your own money, owning your own business. I think it's just different to have that in the Asian culture.
Yeah, so we were talking about like our parents and how they viewed us being entrepreneurs and like how basically just about our parents and like we were like kind of a little annoyed. A little venting, yeah.
So, we love our parents.
We love our parents, but it's just like they're very old fashioned and they still don't really understand the whole idea of entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. I mean, they get it more now, but that's kind of how it came about. And then, we're just hardcore entrepreneurs. We've been for a really long time. So
how about we should talk about our background.
Yeah, we should. You want to go first?
Okay, so
go first.
I started actually in the film industry, intern at Miramax, became a producer's assistant, then became a literary manager. I managed writers and directors in film, animation, TV and comic books. My whole job basically was to try and sell projects to studios and networks and production companies. And so during that time, though, I felt my creativity stifled. So I bought a camera, created my own YouTube channel called Stripe TV, and grew it organically. And we're now 130,000 subscribers, 64 million upload views. And, we've traveled around the world, done a lot of brand deals. And, now I'm actually teaching people about YouTube channel development and YouTube through Creator Up. And anyways, 2012, I quit my job to start another company called LA Street Art Gallery. And it's a community and platform for street art. And then after that, of course I do freelance videography, which I turned into more of a business for consulting on digital content and videos. Then in 2015, I started a company with my partner Ray called Easy Tech, which is a 3D printing platform. And it's been great so far. And this doesn't even count the in-between projects that I have, but I think we'll discuss it more as we introduce ourselves to you in the Hustle Times. But yeah, it's just been a lot of me figuring out how to monetize and make money off of my passions and also do fulfilling work that I know has a purpose and will eventually, complete my goal of traveling the world, living out my dream as a musician, DJ, filmmaker, and entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm. So we just recently started a music project that we're super passionate about and excited for, called DoomzJK, which we'll talk about later. But okay, so to recap, so you have a lot of businesses. Like I would say, out of all my friends, you probably definitely have the most businesses. So to recap, you have a 3D printing company called Easy Tech. And then you have LA Street Art Gallery. And then you have Stripe TV.
That's right.
And then you have your video stuff,
Yep,
which you do like, you know, a lot of videos for big brands and stuff. And then you have DoomzJK.
Yeah, basically my DJing and my music.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, DJ, music, and 3D printing.
And the reason why, like, I've decided to follow the route as an entrepreneur is because it allows you to be your own boss, invest your money into something you believe in, and also work with partners that actually make up for your weaknesses. You utilize their strengths so that you use your strengths to create a huge brand and project. And I just love the idea of building cool things, creating streams of income, and making it in a way so that I'm passionate about it and I'm not annoyed to go into work every day. I wake up every morning like just happy. It's a weird feeling because I almost feel guilty that I wake up like at 8 o'clock or 8 a.m. and I get to do, I want to say whatever I want, but it really whatever I want. Doesn't mean I don't work, you know, it just means that I have the freedom to pick the hours of the day that I'm going to work, and then the other hours to either relax, go out, play music, whatever it is. But that freedom is actually one of the best things about being an entrepreneur. To have that schedule that I make.
Yeah. Man, we got so much to talk about on this podcast. Like, this is going to be really good. This is a really good outlet for us because...
How about you? What's your background?
Oh, yeah, so my background. By the way, I just want to say that we're going to go to get sponsored by Kombucha. 20 episodes on that's pretty...
Yeah. I mean, if you don't know, Mr. Kage here is a kombucha fiend.
So anyways, my background. Long story short, I'm in high school. I worked 5 jobs. My 5th job, I was at a Target in Colorado. I was a cashier, but they made me push carts one day outside. It was a freaking blizzard outside. And I didn't have a jacket or anything. So I go outside, push carts in the blizzard, and then I basically catch pneumonia. And I'm like sick for like 4 or 5 days. And I was just like, like that really just... After that experience, and just like I just hated working jobs. Yeah. I was like, man, there's got to be a better way for me to make money, to make more money doing like work that's not as hard and like, I don't know, just boring, right? So after that experience, I was like, okay, what can I make money doing? What am I good at? And I was like, immediately guitar came to mind. Yep. And I was like, okay, what if I just start teaching guitar lessons? Because at this point, I was like 18, and I'd played for like 5 years. Yeah. And so I started getting students at my high school, just friends I wanted to learn. They were paying me like $20, $25 or something. And literally in my basement, started teaching like 3 students. That grew to 5 students. Grew to 10 students. And then I just realized, like, man, I'm making like 5 times more teaching guitar per hour than I am at Target. And that's when everything clicked. I was like, and this is way easier. So that, fast forward, 3 years later, I moved out to California. And during that time, I was just like teaching. I wasn't really serious about it. I dabbled in real estate, other companies. I learned sales, marketing, all that stuff. So it was kind of like my training phase. And then when I moved out to California, I started this company called Rock Home Lessons. I started teaching in Hollywood and started getting students, and then grew that company while I was in school part-time. Nice. And I started hiring other teachers as contractors and started making passive income. And then when I graduated school, I took it full-time. And within 2 years, I was able to turn that business to a 6-figure business in 2 years with no money spent on advertising or marketing. And I just got creative and like found ways to stand out through different branding and marketing tactics. And so I did that. Then I did some public speaking to like kind of speak about how I grew that. Gave lectures at schools on business and some stuff. And then last year, we got now. Last year is basically I found my dream business. Like when I started Rock Home, I wasn't 110% passionate about it. And we'll talk about this later, but it was more of a way for me to like dive into entrepreneurship and like really just kind of learn how to operate and build a company. Because I didn't know what else I was going to do at the time. But it was last year I started Instagram, and thanks to Mitchel, like that starting an Instagram really has provided me with a lot of opportunities. It sounds kind of silly to say it all came from Instagram, but it's true. Basically, I like barely played guitar for 4 years. Got super passionate about guitar ever since I started my Instagram page last year. It's called University of Rock. And now we're with our sub accounts, we're at like 120,000 followers.
In 1 year.
And
you're about to launch
Yeah. So basically what I do is I have a business called Rock Home Lessons. We're in 9 major cities. We have about 28, 30 teachers that work with us. I run that, I manage that. And then my new startup company is University of Rock, which is an Instagram page, turning that into a lifestyle brand. The new website's coming out this month. And then I have DoomzJK, which is a music project. I started with Mitchel. It's like a DJ guitar duo. We already have 6 songs that we wrote.
Yeah.
It's going really good. Starting to booked a show today.
Yeah, we booked a show today.
It's like randomly.
Yep. Booked the show
for Hollywood. That's gonna be fun with like a famous street artist.
It's gonna be with a street artist named Teacher, and it's gonna be a opening for his solo show. A lot of big people in the art community, Fairfax High School in Hollywood, and it's. I think it's gonna be a really good opportunity for us to actually debut our songs.
Yeah. So just to close out my whole thing, it's like I have Rock Home Lessons, which is a private music business. I have University of Rock, which is going to be a clothing brand, apparel, lifestyle company. We're going to do events and some really cool stuff. And then I have DoomzJK. So those 3 things.
And what's cool about it is that you're actually, it's kind of keeping within the same kind of genre of like music, which is great because it's actually keeping you kind of aligned. So you're not really switching lanes that much. Yeah. I find myself switching my hats a lot. Not so much now because I have found a way to kind of use my passions and skills to build these companies, which is video and education and music. So that's why it's all linking together. But yeah, no, it's been an awesome journey. You know, now we're here, 2016, excited. Yeah. And you know, I think at this point, I've told a lot of people I'm capping off like, you know, a lot of fluff that I had in my life. I'm actually auditing out a lot of projects and work that I thought, you know, I had to do, but realized I didn't have to do. I took this 21-day entrepreneurial shift course by Kyle Reese, slaughtering your name, Kyle. A comedian who talks about basically how to shift your mindset to become an entrepreneur that does what you want to do. And one of the advice in one of the classes about writing down things that you thought you had to do, but you really don't have to do. And I found out I had a lot of those. So I was able to cross those out. But yeah. Yeah,
so that's kind of our background. We have multiple things that we run. And you know, the key is like proper delegation and time management. I feel like you have to get really good at that. You have to develop a really strict kind of work ethic.
It's weird. I was teaching at the Ignite conference by Voyage Media and Creator Up over the weekend at Ignited Spaces, and I was telling people were asking, "What do you do, Mitchel?" And throughout the conversation with all the students there, everyone was like, "Whoa, how are you filming and DJing and have all these companies and marketing and you're learning coding and all that stuff?" They're like, "How do you sleep?" And the thing is, I sleep 7 hours a night, you know, and it's not only that, it's like, I told the students, you gotta love what you do, as in like, just love it. Like, I've got 2 3D printers right now running, well, one and another one behind I'm gonna run in a bit. And I know it's random, but I actually love 3D printing. It's weird. I just don't get it, how I really embrace the technology, but I love being able to just build things. And same thing with you know, getting into VR and 360 cameras, you know.
Yeah, which is insane. That's a whole other topic.
Oh, huge. And
I on that for hours.
I already know that I'm going to embrace that technology to the fullest, you know, potential. So to me, when I tell people, people ask me, how do you sleep? How do you do this? You have to just love what you do and really cut out the fluff and really time manage. And
so
I have a to-do list.
I think that's a good topic we can talk about for a little bit. Is really like, I think a lot of people, if they were to pick like their ideal profession, is to make money doing what they love.
Yeah.
And that's really like the ultimate lifestyle if you think about it. So let's kind of talk about. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So my passions, when I was a kid, I really loved hip hop, so I was into breakdancing and b-boying, and then I got into DJing.
Shout out to dancing Steven Silva,
Quicksilva, and Amita,
and Chase, and all you guys in Denver.
What's going on, Denver?
Be in Denver in 1 month.
Woo. And it was music, it was dance, and it was film. And those were the things
music,
that
dance, and film,
really just inspired me and fueled me. And at the same time, being my own boss. My mom always tells me the story that when I was DJing at first, I had to borrow money from her, about $600. And I asked her.
When did you start DJing?
15.
So you're a freshman.
I was a freshman. I got into DJing because I saw it was like being the king of the dance floor, and you would get the girls.
Yeah, that's exactly why I started guitar too.
So like I realized, man, I love this and I want to make a business out of it at 15. So my mom was like, I asked my mom, I need $600 from Guitarist, I need you to co-sign this loan so I can pay it off in 3 months. And she did it. She didn't think I was going to pay her back. I paid her back before the 3-month end, and she realized, wow, you're an entrepreneur. And I didn't realize it back then. I was just like, I'm just doing me. I'm just DJing and I'm getting paid for it. To me, it was like...
Oh, so you got paid DJing.
I got paid to DJ.
Oh, okay. Like house parties or what?
Yeah, house parties.
Okay.
When I was 15.
Okay.
So I was doing quinceañeras, weddings, private parties, college parties when I was 15, high school parties.
That's pretty awesome.
And it was a hustle, but what I loved about it was that I was able to just taste the good life of doing what I love to do and getting paid for it.
Yeah.
And it always stuck with me. And so went to college, still DJ'd, and was getting paid for it. But when I started working in Hollywood, I got a desk job, and did that for a couple of years. And I felt myself like really unfulfilled, empty. And so I needed to find a way to get back to my passions again. So, luckily I was able to just pick it up where I left off, DJ, and from all my, connections and just my skills in general. And now I have 4 residencies a month consistently in like 2 really like awesome places in Los Angeles with a lot of history behind it. And I'm, doing what I love to do. And I think it helped me to actually just do it. When I was in high school, come on, you have your parents supporting you, you have a home, you don't really have to pay rent. So I got that taste. So I think when you're young, especially a lot of young kids who are watching this or listening to this right now,
all the fanboys,
all the boys,
all the University Rock fanboys. 80% of you that are males.
And then you guys, you're young enough now where you don't have to pay rent, man. And even in college, like you do what you love to do while you're studying, of course. And find ways to get compensated for it. Your passion is something that I ask people, what do you see yourself doing on an island deserted the rest of your life that's going to keep you happy other than eating and breathing air and staying alive? It's going to keep you happy, and I always thought of myself like I have to play music. I have to make films. I just have to tell stories. And I have to play music and share my music with people and entertain people and educate people. So,
it's pretty much everything you're doing now. Like you DJ, you have a company, an e-com company, and then you have, your film company.
Yeah.
And you have the band now.
And it's pretty awesome because I told myself I want to be able to travel, DJ, and film.
Yeah.
And I remember that happened to me last year when I was in Colorado. I got paid I got flown out.
That's how we met, actually.
Paid to do a video, and I DJed that weekend and got paid.
Yeah.
And it's you have to appreciate and be grateful for those opportunities. They're not $1 million contracts, but I did what I said I was going to do. I was going to travel, get paid for it, and DJ. So now, I have 2 other, trips that involve those same 2 things, traveling for film and DJing this year in Asia and Europe. So it's just crazy, and I'm at that point. So back to the whole thing about, how do you find out your passion and make a living out of it? You really have to know what your passion is in the first place. And you have to be smart about ways that you can make money off of it that's innovative, that's unique, and also you have to have really good skills. You really have to have really good skills. So you have to practice your craft.
Yeah.
You started practicing your craft way more now.
I have I have a really good story on this topic. For me, it took me a long time to really find what I ultimately wanted to do. When I went to school in Hollywood, a guitar school, I wanted to start a rock band. But then I always valued making a lot of money too as an entrepreneur, because I grew up with hardly any money, and that was I attached a lot of pain to not having money. Yeah. And that's why I became an entrepreneur, was because of my upbringings, my family, and other things. But it took me a long time, man. And I was telling you, I was depressed for 5 years, because after I graduated school, I had done this pop music side project. We got our songs on MTV and stuff, and just wasn't ultimately what I wanted to do. So I left that thing, and then I started my company, really focused on it. And I liked my company. I liked what I was building and stuff, but there was still that artistic side of me that was so empty. Yeah. And it took me till 2015 to really find that. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't practice. I barely touched guitar for 4 years. And it killed me. I became depressed because of it. And I was, every day I think about okay, how can I turn this into a business I really enjoy doing? How can I really do what I want to do? And it was, then I started Instagram, University of Rock, and I just saw so many guitar players just kill it on Instagram, and it inspired me. Started practicing 3 hours a day every single day for the past year. Nice. And then that social media stuff honestly catapulted everything that I'm doing right now, pretty much. Yeah. That, just having that account and growing and gaining all that traction led to all these opportunities. It led to me being a lot more passionate about guitar. It led to me getting endorsed from my dream companies, PRS Guitars and Taylor Guitars. Yep. And pretty soon I'm going to get endorsed by 2 other ones. And ultimately it made me turn it into my dream business, which is coming out this month. So for me, it took a long time for me to really get that. So I just want to say, if you're going through that right now, I know a lot of people are going through. I have friends that are going through this right now, where they feel stuck, right? And it sucks, dude. It fucking sucks. I was there for 5 years straight. Yeah. And if you're going through that, you just got to be patient, dude. It's hard, but
I think it's patient, and you have to be around the right people. I think that if you are really stuck in this situation where you're not inspired, but then you want to get out of it, but you're still in the same situation where you're not inspired, you're going to get caught in that cycle. And I think for me, I had to go through a period where I had to, hang out with other people that were that were ambitious, that were positive, and weren't distracted from their goals.
Oh, totally.
And I think that once you are around those people, you start actually
they bring you up.
They bring you up. Yeah. You kind of embody the entrepreneur that you've always wanted to be, because you have people who are holding you accountable. You have people who are saying what's happening with your project? You said last week you're going to do this. And then you feel kind of oh man, I kind of just lied, or I'm disappointed. And it's either you can take that and run away, or you actually take that as motivation to complete the project or the goal or the company you're trying to do. And I think that finding your passion it's easy for us, because I feel we were born with a creative talent. I do know there are some people
out there. Some people don't know. Yeah,
they just don't know.
Just fine.
And it's totally fine.
The thing is not everyone should be an entrepreneur. I just want to riff on this for a second. We live in such a like startup culture, and I hear this so much from like business leaders where they're like, entrepreneurship is so mainstream right now, and it's great, but like at the same time, it's bad because there's so many people starting companies. Not that they shouldn't, but they just really don't know like what it's like to like be an entrepreneur. They don't know like how much work goes into it, and a lot of people are becoming depressed because of it, and like there's a lot of downside to it, right? And pretty soon, like 7-10 years from now, 5-7 years, you're gonna see like 95% of those businesses are just gonna fade out, dude. So many people quit like after like 3 months, dude. Like I remember so many people started companies like when the whole Shark Tank thing came out. I've seen so many people just quit. So it's just like, anyways, that's all I want to say on that, because that kind of bothers me sometimes. But
you know what it is? It's just that people see they read the success of, you know, Facebook, of, you know, like,
Snapchat,
like Airbnb,
like huge tech companies getting acquired.
And they think that these people were working on this for a year and then blew up and became billionaires. It's not like that. It's like, if you really know the secret, or not even the secret, the history of these companies, they took a long time, 5 years plus. And I think that people have to realize that being your own boss, you're in charge of your own revenue stream, you're in charge of your own paycheck. Therefore, you can't spend a day without making sales or creating some kind of revenue source. Because unless you are lucky enough to either get VC funding, angel investment, or have, you know, a trust fund, or you know, a wealthy family, then you can actually have a comfort zone and a support system, and you can actually have a year just doing what you can to make your business afloat. But sometimes people don't have that. I don't have that. You know, I have to seriously hustle every single day to, like, you know, thrive. I think that people, when they quit their jobs, they're not smart about it. They quit their jobs, haven't saved up enough money, haven't figured out their revenue source, haven't figured out how they're going to make a consistent amount of money per month or whatnot to pay for their rent. And so every time someone asks me, how do you do it? What should I do? It's like, you got to save a lot. You got to know first what your business plan is before you jump. You can't jump and then be like, all right, what's next?
I think it's smart to like have some people like quit their jobs altogether. That's what I did pretty much. But you know, when it's good to have like a part-time job and start something on the side, like work your 9 to 5, come home, and then work from like 7 to 10 o'clock at night on your startup, you know?
And I think that that's what I was doing. And then that's when we got 2 really good deals. Then I realized, wow, I can actually quit, and I can like, I saved up enough money. I have like 6 months lead time before I have to like really make money. And it was rough. First year was rough, man. But then now it's awesome, because I have the reel to show for it, the resume to show for it, the connections, the network and experience to show for it. And it's amazing how I can open up doors now just for being me. So
it's putting in the work, putting in the hustle, you know.
That's why it's called the hustle time. It's
called the hustle times. Like, man, like when you start a business, it's a lot of work. Like I remember doing everything. Like I was teaching, I was running marketing, I was making ads, I was making like creating my manual, I was training people. And like you build a system over time and it could run. Robert Kiyosaki, author Rich Dad Poor Dad, says a true business is a business where if you walked away from the business and came back 3 months later, the business was making more money without you. That's when you know you have a true business. It's not really a true business if you walk away, like if you stop making money, that's not really a true business, because you're required to be there, right? So that's kind of the whole thing, is like the goal, I think, for us, for a lot of entrepreneurs, is to just really do something that we love, make money doing it, provide a really good product and service, and then like just have, it's all about, I feel like, freedom is like the key word. Like for me, the quote that always sticks with me is like, true freedom is doing what you want, when you want, with who you want. And that's really like, dude, if you think about it, that's the ultimate lifestyle, you know? It's like not being tied down to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Having free time to do the things you want to do, and like just living life on your own terms.
Yep.
And I think with that, it's exactly 30 minutes. So I think that's a good way to close.
A good way to close out. So thanks for listening to our first episode and watching our first episode. You can catch us on Instagram. At The Hustle Times. And SoundCloud and YouTube and our website.
Yeah, well, this is going to be YouTube,
which will be coming up soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, next episode and the next episodes after this are going to be.
Let's talk about like some of the topics. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff, and if you guys have any suggestions for us, just leave it in the comments down below. But
right there,
thinking like social media, marketing, just sales,
content creation, business management,
joint ventures, networking. So much stuff, dude.
Yeah. Kite flying.
Yeah. How to give really sexy back massages.
Staring contests. How to win a staring contest. Those are the topics of the Hustle Times.
Yeah. This one was pretty serious.
This was good.
We normally joke around quite a bit, but this
was good. We needed to get it off. We need to get something off our chest.
Yeah. No, we're really stoked for this.
Yeah.
We get a lot of like musical fulfillment, and like we have an outlet for that. But for entrepreneurship, we're not really like, we just kind of talk about it privately, you know?
Yeah.
And having it public like this, it's like, for me, it just feels awesome because I feel like I've had this in my head for like 10 years.
Yeah. No, I remember when I was supposed to end this, but whatever. I remember last year I was interviewed for the Bevel Code, which was a online magazine / blog for this single razor shaving company, and they were featuring entrepreneurs and different types of hustlers, and I was featured, interviewed, taking photographs, and I remember reading it the other day, and I was saying stuff like, down the line, I just want to be able to create health centers that give juice out and educate people and just help empower people, educate people, and entertain people, and that's what this is all about. We're here to educate you, empower you, and do a little entertainment. And I think that's a really good way for people to follow their dreams and passions.
We may have to talk about how to maximize your Tinder profile on one of these podcasts.
I know. Maximize your arm capacity. Yeah. Look at his guns over there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working out,
We got guns in this show.
All right, well, I think that's a good ending, dude.
All right, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and share this out with whoever you want to share it with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Peace.